Hi, hello, my name's Sky, and I don't normally make this type of video. What I normally do is make music and stuff, but I'm a big Xenoblade fan, and that means I like to talk about the series as well as its future. We know for a fact that Xenoblade is continuing after 3, but we still have an entire DLC cycle to go through, including a brand new story scenario. So, I want to go through some theories on what this scenario could be, starting from least likely and ending in most likely in my opinion, and of course, spoilers for the entire series in this video. Like, seriously, I spoil the ending of 3 in this video. Also, I'm calling it the Torna of 3, not the Future Connected of 3 for reasons I'll get into later on. Starting off with my candidate for least likely, we have a follow-up to the game's Epilogue. I really do not think this will happen, mainly because of the direction this game's story goes. Keeping the ambiguity of whether or not Noah actually got to meet with Mio or not in the ending is kind of imperative for the narrative to function in a meaningful way, and I do not think that the game would follow up on the ending just yet. Maybe in a future game, but if we're honest, the games directly tied to Klaus are more than likely finished with 3. And if we're talking about gameplay, I imagine the team will want something a bit more different than, oh, we're just using the same characters again, especially given how Torna only shares one party member with the main game, not counting Jin in Chapter 1 and 8. And that's part of the reason I didn't name this video The Future Connected as Xenoblade Chronicles 3, because to me, an epilogue is just not on the table at all. Up next we have a scenario that would take place solely within the confines of the city, and have to deal with the past of the city, possibly ending with the battle where Guernica meets up with the party. This I could definitely see happening as a sort of Halo Reach type campaign, where you have Hiwa, Zuo, Yu, and Guernica, with a possible Monica and Gondor as well, on your party and have to get the Ouroboros stone from Mobius before they find out. While it would fill out the very needed playable Vandam quota in XC3, in my mind it's not at all as likely as our last entry. For one, the game world would not have changed at all in this campaign, and even a slightly changed city or a new area in a region wouldn't really capture what both Future Connected and especially Torna had to offer. And while knowing how the story ends does not dictate its effectiveness, a campaign set this close to the game's events would lack a lot of the punch that Torna has. Finally, we have my pick for the most likely candidate for the expansion story, the origins of the original Ouroboros. Despite Melia and Nia being in your party, they kind of refuse to comment on anything related to stuff post the worlds colliding. I guess it's because they assume the party won't really care, but as a player it feels like they are purposefully leaving this empty gap in the player's knowledge to get the gears going in their own heads as to what the hell these fucking statues mean. We know for a fact that one of them is Shulk because how could it not be? That's clearly Shulk with his goggles. And the one to the left of him is clearly Dunban, but if you read the description it says that the statue was created in dedication to the founder's teacher, but there are some that are either more vague, or make little to no sense within the Blade series. Because, I don't know about you, but the statue right here, that's Faye, from Xenogears. It even references how he doesn't fight with a weapon, like, this is clearly meant to be Faye. And that's another thing that adds to the story of the original Ouroboros being the Torna of this game. The massive crossover potential. Imagine a world where the Xenoblade 2 challenge mode is made literal, and that's what you get with this expansion. Given how one of the statues on the Aghanim side also heavily resembles Rex in the photo Nia has in the ending, it's not entirely off the table. Really, I just want the mystery the game put in these statues put to rest, and a campaign where the worlds had just intersected could do wonders for the fan service-y aspect of the DLC these games tend to get. We could even get another Hugo Nile situation with the Reed House, the one with the Dunban statue, since we don't know what the house originator actually looked like, and she very well could have looked just like Shania. Or if you want to go the arts route, you can make her literally be Ashura. And not only does it have the fan service aspect, it also has the tragedy aspect, since we know in the present day that these parties fail against Zed and the Mobius. Really, it could just capitalize on something the main game really didn't in interactions between characters from the other franchises. And if we actually see Fei Fong fucking Wong in the Blade series, well, that'd be something else. Not to mention seeing how Ionios was in its original state, with the Titans and the Mechonis parts not being decayed. It would be really fun and add a brand new world to explore, which would always be welcome. Also, since the two heroes are most likely not going to be Rex and Shulk based on whatever the fuck this silhouette is, the DLC pack's main artwork would actually make sense with this expansion. And we'd actually get closure on 2's ending. And maybe Antos could interact with Numa? Maybe? Please? That's all I want, really. That's all I want, Monolith Soft. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and I hope I could either convince some of you about this or add something new to the conversation. The only downside I could see with the whole original Ouroboros thing is Square being stingy with the rights to Gears. But I mean, I can dream. I can fucking dream. I can dream!